afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back. Everyone knows how the show works. On the right-hand side, you have the question tab. You ask the questions, we give you the answers. This is your show, your platform. We're here to offer you professional advice, life advice, help you on your journey, lots of positivity, feel good Friday, and our special guest is going to participate in that and share some good vibes and good learning, good positivity with us. So you ask the questions, hashtag AskRocco on the right-hand side. We will then give you the answers. And I'm going to hand it over to Patrick to introduce himself. Welcome to the show, and thank you for giving up your time, Patrick.
Thank you, Robert. To introduce myself is quite difficult because I'm actually one of the first hybrids in the financial markets. I don't have actually a specific title. I'm a hybrid between the marketing communication side and the high-end financing side. So what I do every day is I strategize portfolio investments with the high-end banks, okay, mostly Swiss banks, international banks. And what I look for is for that edge, for somebody to actually excel in what he's doing, okay, even during COVID. Strangely enough, during COVID, everybody is very negative. Actually, I find it very positive because COVID has been doing like a sweeping the floor, you know, removing the dust, you know, where people were not actually paying attention to. Okay, so those when you actually felt that they were stronger in the business, they actually come out to become the weaker because they were not easy to change the mindset.
Explain what that means, because it sounds like a complete contradiction. Everyone's negative, and you're saying it's a positive. Like explain.
It is positive. Okay, so the negative part, for my opinion, the negative part is actually the health side. That's the negative side. But because we don't have a solution yet to the problem. I mean, a solution can be found, will be found. I mean, we are humans, we're capable of the impossible. So that's the negative side for me. But it's not the negative side on the economics, okay? Because everybody's saying, oh, COVID has destroyed my business. Actually, and this is my personal comment, it's not true. Your business was not already doing well. You were just not seeing it, okay? COVID, what it did, he actually put a magnifying lens over a series of businesses and said, you know what? You're not healthy. You're already rotten in the foundations.
So what it did was expose the weaknesses of those operations.
Correct. Unfortunately, some operations right now, the first visible, the first impact of COVID in the economy is actually small businesses. Okay, these are the first ones to die if they have to die. Those who can survive, they find a way how to reinvent themselves. That is the most important part. Okay, finding new solutions to achieve the same goals, and that's part of evolution. We are part of an evolution chain, and I think this is a misunderstanding. Okay, a lot of this misunderstanding is due to the media. Okay, how the media portray a problem. All right. I mean, we have multinationals that actually have problems. They do have problems. They have lost 60% of their businesses. They're just not saying it. They're just quiet in their corner and saying, let's get out of this with a damage of 60%. We have enough money to pay salaries, so we don't have to ask for aid to nobody. But some of them, they say, we can survive 1 year, not more than a year if we go on this way. Now, the problem is actually another one. Internally, they don't have the team that is creative enough to change the way they do business. Changing the way you do business doesn't mean you're changing your goal. Your goal stays the same. You're just changing the road you're taking to reach to that point of arrival. And then from there, you choose another point of arrival and choose a different direction. So I think COVID is just putting this nice spotlight, on dirt and saying, you know what, you are not really good in cleaning your home, and look at that corner, it's still dirty, after a year.
Love that analogy. I think it's in the most beautiful, simplistic terms. I think the way you've articulated that from a business perspective.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Let's go back. Let's start at the beginning, Patrick. Tell us about your journey and your story, so we can get a bit of context about who you are.
Okay,
what you
so basically, I started. When I finished high school, I went to American school to finish high school. My dream, this was like 25 years ago. My dream was to become a professional photographer. Okay, that was my dream. I was actually really good. And
so you
my
want
father
to like
told
that,
me,
not professional?
yeah, I'm serious. I actually wanted to become a professional fashion photographer. I even applied to schools.
So he is living your dream.
Yes. That's my dream. It was my dream 25 years ago. And then my father told me, no, you don't make money with photography. So we're talking about 25 years ago, 1992, 1991. Okay, it's time periods. There was no internet. Even mobile phones, there were not yet mobile phones. So don't make money with that. Okay. So I changed. I went into communication and marketing and copywriting, got really really good in doing that. Okay. And on the way, what has happened is I got very curious about the London Stock Exchange. Really curious. I said, how does it work? And at a certain point, what has happened is I went on the website of the London Stock Exchange, the first website they did, and I was looking for a company. And I didn't have any. My interest was just to get knowledge. How does it work? I had no money to invest. Okay, so I found one company. And what really was interesting of this company was the name of the company. So I actually picked against the names. I could have chosen 100 companies.
Tell us one name that you remember always, just so we can.
The name was Axiom Capital. Okay.
Axiom Capital.
Yeah. Now that.
What did you like about that?
I don't know. It sounded really cool. I'll be honest to you. When I was reading all the names, that was the name I was remembering before all the names, because there is an Axiom. It was not the capital, it was Axiom, which actually is a Roman is in the Roman Latin means victory, victorious, okay, winning a battle. So I said, oh, this is a really cool name. So I wrote an email to the founder, and 3 days later, he replies me back and says, I'm really sorry I'm replying you back. Normally I reply in like 24 hours to every single email. Okay. And I told him, I don't really care if you reply me 3 days later, because I want some free information. And he was the first, he became my mentor. David became my mentor. And he told me, doesn't matter who you are, you always are the first one to get replied to. Doesn't matter who you are. You can be even the janitor who wants to know more about the stock exchange. This is knowledge, and knowledge is always a positive thing. Okay. So he became my mentor, and he taught me all this.
I'm going to pause you. Sorry to keep interrupting, but Patrick's message there is so ridiculously crazy important that everyone understands. Listen, he's said the word curious. In other English words, he just was interested, like randomly interested in the stock exchange. He's found a company because he liked the name. It has no meaning, no significance, nothing. He then writes to that company to get more information, and he gets a reply from the CEO or someone working there. Now, just understand, those 4 things alone are a perfect reflection of what Patrick is and what he's achieved and why he is where he is today. Understand, he was curious. He thought about something. Oh, I wonder what this is. I wonder what that is. But he did something about it. So then he looked into it, stock exchange, found a company. Oh, that's interesting. Looked into it, write an email. That's interesting. The person replied. It's like if you act on what you think, on what you're curious about, something might happen, something might not happen. But if you don't act on anything, Nothing's ever happening, ever. And I think the mindset that Patrick is telling us here is a massive reflection of how proactive, forward-thinking doers behave. Sorry to interrupt. Carry on, Patrick.
No, don't worry, don't worry. Actually, you are spot on. What actually I was meant. Actually, I thought a mentor would teach you his secrets on how to do something. He actually pulled out from me my winning side for 7 years. He taught me with simple exercises how I was as special as he was. Okay, and his mentorship was really key to understand.
You're going to share
Sorry?
any of those? Are you going to share any of
Well,
those with?
yeah, I can. So one of the most important lessons which I actually teach to everybody, because actually now if I can say, I actually do again. I mean, I'm doing my karma. I mean, my karma is to mentor other people and coach even top end executives how to become better. Is that the value of money? Now, there is a misunderstanding in the value of money, in the power of money. Okay. So David, my mentor, used to always tell me that we are giving money power. It's not money giving us power. We are empowering money, okay? So he told me money is just a piece of paper. It's us who gives it a value, who makes it become stronger every day, okay? Our empathy on a product. So for example, if every morning we wake up and we say that drinking pure drinking water is bad, every single company in the world producing water will go bust, okay? So it's actually people giving the power to an object like money, that money allows you to buy water or to give the value of that word through money, okay? So he was telling me a very important lesson that if you write on a piece of paper £1 or you write 1 billion pounds, it's always the same value. It's just more zeros that you're adding on. And people get scared. Oh my God, you're doing a £1 billion transaction. I said, yes. I will never see it. It's just written on a piece of paper. You know, I cannot spend the 1 billion in one day. I mean, how long does it take me? So what I say to people, to everybody, is when you think about a billion and it scares you, think that is only £1, one single pound. You treat it the same way. You do the same exercise. You actually implement the same winning rules that you have implied for £1, make it £2, £3, £5, and the same you do with a billion, 2 billion, 3 billion. So it's not actually the value of the money, but it's the value of the project that will give to the community. That's what is a miss. A lot of people get lost in that transition. Okay. So what everybody's doing, doesn't matter if it's, I'm not joking, even cleaning toilets every day for a living, it's actually doing something important for a project to have success, okay? Because let's put it this way, I put it really raw. Let's say you are really grumpy because you have to go to the loo and the loo is not clean. You come out really more grumpy than the first time you went in because you had to go to the loo. Now you're sitting down, you're nervous because something made you nervous. But if that toilet was actually properly clean and was smelling perfectly, you're coming out refreshed. So that small guy actually did something as a tsunami effect to change your mood, to make something happen, or to understand people differently, okay? And maybe that will cause maybe to win a contract or to get understood quicker, okay? So this is a very complex machine, but it's all based on empathy. So money is empathy. I mean, the stock exchange is empathy. I mean, you don't eat no more steaks. The steaks company or the cattle company producing cattle, they will go bust because they have no markets anymore. You know. So people say, oh, that guy became rich because he's lucky. He's not lucky. He just knew what to do and do it in the right time, and he was a good listener as well. You know, he was a good listener. That's what the most important keys: understanding money, the value of money, that we are controlling money. Money doesn't control us. Understanding that empathy is everywhere. I mean, it's about relationships. A company is not just a name outside. It's the people inside that drives the company to actually its success.
Got to interrupt you, Patrick. So a couple of questions are coming in. Paige wants to know,
Yeah.
what would have happened if that company didn't reply to you?
I'm okay with it. They've lost an opportunity, not replying to me.
So I suppose let's role play that.
Okay, let's role play that. Yeah, okay.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
that Active and Capital don't reply. I'm
Yeah.
guessing that you saw another company called Banana Capital because you like the name. You would have
Yeah.
risen to them and they probably would have replied. And if Banana Capital didn't reply, then Red Capital, and I'm sure you would have kept going, right? Like,
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah. I kept going on until I find somebody who will actually reply to me. Now, let's say somebody doesn't reply to the email. Okay. I will try to go and meet them face to face, just for a coffee, a 5-minute coffee with a one simple question that I want to get answered. And I think when you're genuine, when you see a lot of people have a different way when they speak in a certain way, and when they write, they become very formal. Okay, I think the error is right just there. In today's in how we are behaving today with social media, we are used to write a lot of posts or to write messages. We forget that we should write sometimes as we speak. Because when we write as we speak, that message is passing through that person like, oh my God, this person is really genuine. He really wants to know something. He's not there to speculate on me. Okay. Now, I think that is really vital, is how we communicate. Okay. And if somebody doesn't really want to help you, it doesn't want to help you. That's the end point. I mean, he doesn't want to help you. Okay. Maybe he has got his own problems. We never know. So it's time to understand and to listen to the other side, because it's like a river going two directions. The current doesn't go only one direction, comes even down, you know. So we need to understand that we're all humans, you know. But you have to keep going. I mean, you have to keep going, asking questions, and don't try to imitate somebody else in what they're doing. Just because they're doing it is your idol. I mean, I believe in idols, but I don't believe in emulating the idol, okay? Because that idol, once upon a time, he was a nobody. Nobody was looking at him. He just became what he became. And the biggest part of becoming what you are is failing. You have to fail big, okay? Failing is not negative. It's a positive thing.
Tell us your biggest failing. Tell us where you got hurt, suffered.
My biggest failure?
Were on the ground, and this is the biggest learning.
I had a lot of failures to reach where I am today. Well, one failure was basically I went completely bankrupt. I mean, to zero. My bank account to zero. Credit card was bust. I could not use it anymore. And for 2 weeks, I was on the streets, literally without a house, on the streets. And I had to reinvent myself and negotiate with a couple of hotel owners just to get a room for free and pay for later on, and finding a job to pay my bills. I really was zero with my suitcases. This is not a joke. But when you hit really, and that's really hitting rock bottom, okay? When you are there, down there, you don't get scared anymore because you hit rock bottom. And when I got up again after 2 months time, plus or minus, I got back again on track. I'm not saying I was making money. I was just eating a meal, 3 meals a day, having a roof, just the basics, okay? You understand that you have not died. You actually survived, okay?
I keep on interrupting you because you're just making such brilliant points. I always talk about having a perspective on life, and having perspective on life when there's either a crisis or a situation happening. You've got to always mentally try and put some kind of context on that. And the way to put context on that is quite simple. If your magnet brings you right to the ground or the bottom of the ocean is as simple as I was on the street and I had nothing, or I'm just lucky and grateful and blessed to be alive. If you can pull yourself back to that really dark bottom place, everything on top of that is only good and positive. But you've got to be able to contextualize and bring yourself back to that place to understand, yes, there's a global pandemic, COVID, and people are losing jobs and everyone's scared and everyone's negative. But the context of it is that you're alive, or you've got food, or you've got a roof, or the bare minimum to survive and live. Actually, you're okay.
Yeah, true. I think that's what I'm saying. And actually, my parents never knew. Actually, I was in the streets for like a month, technically a month. And in the beginning, I never thought to actually tell that story, because it was a negative thing to say, oh my God, you went to the streets. But actually, for me, it was a personal learning lesson. I mean, I'm not saying that now I'm spending less money every day just to make sure I have a roof. No, actually, I spend money. I make it, I spend it, I make it, I spend it. But I'm not as afraid as before, because I know what it means being there. When I see somebody on the streets, that doesn't have a roof, people say, oh, why don't you give him some money? I said, that's not the solution. If he really wants to get back on track, he has to stand up with his own legs and get back on track. I mean, he can go to anybody. If he's filthy dirty and he's on the streets, he can stand, and if he's not, has got any injuries that he can work, he can stand up, ask to anybody, can I have a shower, clean clothes, I need to look for a job. That's how you start. It's a mental thing. It's not a physical thing. But those who stay in the streets, they want to stay in the streets. It's personal choice at that point, okay? So and that is something very psychological, and then of course the other failure is I lost $100,000, $1 million, 2 million, 3 million, and this was money of my mentor, who was giving to me under management, and he every time was smiling at them. I said, well, you're not angry? He said, well, I'm angry because we don't have the money, but now we have to find a way how to recoup the money again with another project. So you lost $1 million, find a way how to put that 1 million into that project, so you have again the money back, But and then he was telling me, don't get possessed by money. Don't get money drive you. You drive money where you want it to be. Because if money is controlling you, you are just a slave. You're just a slave, I mean, that's what you become, So don't become a slave of money. Let money, you use it. Money is just a tool. That's the only thing, okay? And that was the most hardest lesson to learn. It took me years to master that, because in the beginning I thought you have to go and dress up all nicely for a bank meeting. In the end, I went to one of the top Swiss banks with a tracksuit, a t-shirt, and sneakers. After an hour and a half, I was there presenting my client, which was my mentor. That was one of my tests, to open a bank account for him in Switzerland. They came to me and said, listen, are you looking for a job? We would like to hire you and work for us and find us clients, And I told them I'm not a banker, I never worked in a bank. I said, no, we want people like you. You have the guts coming like this, dress up to us, and you're really convincing us right now that we should open this bank account. So what I realized that day is what people really want is brain, intelligence in front of them. So that if you can put your intelligence on the front line, how you're dressed is not any more important. That you have a fancy car that's passing through, passing through. So it's really how you relate with the people in front of you. You have to be a good listener. You have to understand what they're trying to tell you. And now I don't really care how people are dressed in front of me. I mean, I will just go and scout out their brain, get them active, ask a million questions. I don't think there's a wrong question, but every single question is important, because what you reply to me will indicate me what type of person you are, what you're looking for, what you don't look for, what is your interest, and I try to adapt to that person, you know, to become like a mirror of himself. Okay. And but in the end, I do that so that he understands what I'm trying to do for him, you know, especially in my job, when I need to analyze investment portfolios and go to the bank, say this is a good portfolio, this is a bad one. I don't say it's a bad one. I say it's got potential, but before you fund it, we need to adjust 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the most important part. Never be negative. Be is a negative / positive, saying, yes, you have a problem, but I'm the doctor. Let me tell you how I can cure your problem. These are the vitamins you have to take for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And let's check again back when you come 3 months, and then we give you the money for the funding operation, or you're looking for a job, you know? So true potential.
Great wisdom, Patrick. Right, we've got questions flying in. Charlie, what have you got for us? Even though Patrick's still in his journey, we're going to jump back on.
I'm gonna
jump back. Charlie's
we've got plenty of questions coming through here. We've got one from Rob, question for Rob from Rob, and it says, do you have any recommendations for starting your next career or any advice? I have lots of experience in various roles.
Okay. One thing I actually feel from this question, I have got a lot of experience in different roles. Just become a master what you're good at today. I mean, a lot of people try to go and take 3 MBAs, 5 PhDs. End of the day, they're not becoming good in one thing. You have a lifetime only, unless you're living for the next 500 years. Then you can do 5, 10 things in a row, you know? You have all the time to master them all. But mastering one part, so let's put it this way. You're good in one thing, become a master in what you're good at. Even if today you're not seeing there is great potential into what you're good at. So become a master in that. What you're weak in doing, you have to find the right people to cover the weak points that you have. So it's teamwork. In short, if you have a football game, a soccer game, the captain cannot do defense, cannot be the goalkeeper. I mean, it cannot be everything. So you have to just do one simple role and do it really well. Become the master of that, okay? And automatically, with time, you will understand. Time period for me can be like 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, 5 hours, or 1 hour, okay? That's my time. I mean, doesn't really matter the time it takes. People will understand what you're really good at, okay? They will see it. They will not be able to describe what you're good at, but say, but he's really good in doing his job. And you keep doing that thing. Sometimes there's no titles for what you're good at. I mean, in my case, I don't know what title to give to myself, you know? Whether I'm a finance expert or a marketing finance, a communication expert. I mean, at a certain point, I become a strategist, okay? So that was easy title to give to everybody. So just be good in one thing and excel in what you're doing every single day.
Yeah, I think we talk about that a lot. I mean, being a specialist and dedicating that, you know, whatever, 100,000 hours and that 10, 20 years. And
Yeah.
once you've done that, you're naturally going to be better than 99% of the people out there, because 99% of the people out there wouldn't have put in the time to grow that skill and expertise to then be able to sit and have a conversation about that specialist subject matter as well as you can. So that's great. What else, Charlie?
So I've got another question here from Harrison, who says, hi everyone, hope you're all well. I've been hearing how difficult it is to get a job during COVID. Is there any ways that you guys can recommend to ensure I stay positive about things, and how can I stand out against my peers in these tough times?
Wow, that's a complicated question. No, well, there are complicated questions. Well, COVID, I mean, the tricky part now is there's going to be some dark times during COVID for a lot of companies that they have no idea. I mean, the management team of those companies, they are trying to figure out how to change their way they actually work every day. Okay, so we have to understand one thing. We have companies are made of people. Okay, as those one who lost a job, who are trying to find a job during COVID, I'm panic. They're panicking. The same happens to the HR departments with executives to find the system how to make their team work during COVID in smart working mode. You know, because working from a distance is not easy. It's not easy because the CEO, the directors need to communicate to their team what they have to do. Before they were in the same building, you have a coffee, you have a problem, there was a solution, was immediate. Now the solution takes longer to be delivered, okay? Because you don't have a human contact anymore. So the first thing is to become creative, to find out really what your skill sets are, okay? And try to understand if you can do it remotely. If you can do it remotely on a consultancy basis, even if it's meaning that you're earning like 500 pounds a month, do it. Is 100 pounds a month? Take it. Never say no. Don't become greedy for money. That, oh my God, this is not my paycheck. I was earning before as much, double, 3 times the money. Just take what is out there, okay? Because having one foot in the door in one company today is important, okay? And if you show you actually really good in what you're doing, that company will find a way how to keep you for a longer term and with a better paycheck end of the day, okay? But saying all of this, you should not hunt for the job should be looking for you. That's really important, okay? And I think with the social platforms like LinkedIn, for example, if you're really good in speaking out your voice on micro post, personal post, people will start following you, you know? And maybe somebody who's looking for you will just come in with the DMs and say, listen, can we have a chat for 5 minutes? I was really looking for somebody like you. Maybe I have an opportunity here, okay? Maybe I have something, I don't know. I have no idea, but maybe something is on the table, okay? So we have to change the way we go and hunt for jobs. It has to be completely different, not the classic HR like everybody is used to, you know, handing the CV and signing a contract. I mean, all that I think is past due. Things will change in a year time. I think there'll be a lot of remote working.
Next question, Patrick. Do you think your approach to risk changes when you have more responsibility, stroke, get older?
No, it changes with experience, with failure. The more you fail, the more the risk factor goes down because you have learned how not to fail anymore. Okay, some people, they will fail continuously, okay? I'm not saying that everybody will just do it the same way I'm doing it. But if you can understand, if you can stop, every time you fail, you stop for a microsecond and you analyze your failures and say, what has not worked here? And you analyze it well and then ask for help around you to actually find a solution to that problem. Maybe you don't see it, then you will be successful later on because you remember everything. I mean, our DNA, we are actually a machine. So our machine is like an AI. We reprogram, we rewire ourselves with experiences without even knowing it, okay? So for example, I'm walking the streets every single day and one day there's a hole in the ground and I trip on the hole and I hurt myself. The next morning, without even realizing it, I will make sure I'm passing over the hole because my brain has remembered it. So I think for those one who don't have that auto defense mechanism, they have to just have to remember, okay, when I do this, I'm falling down. Let me watch for the hole so I know. But normally we actually do that, but we're not conscious when we're doing it. We do it for normal life activities, but not for work, okay? So risk is, I think risk is a big word. I think that we have risk, but risk is mitigated by our experiences. Okay.
Let's go back to your story, finish off your journey. So
Yeah.
working now for your mentor, he's trained you up. Where do we go from there?
Well, literally, well, I would call it working and studying, because I was not really working. He was keeping me alive, as he was saying, give enough money for food, for transportation, and for paying rent. That's it. Anything more I wanted to do, I had to be smart in doing it and making money. Because he said, if you really want to become an entrepreneur, you need to understand how to make money. And you cannot make money if I pay you, if I give you a paycheck every month. Because you will know automatically that every month, if you perform or don't perform, you still have money in your bank account coming in. But if you start working now for your money, and you know that you need extra and you need more money, become creative. Creativity is born like this, by putting into practice. It's a muscle. So you have the guy who does fitness every day because he wants to become Mr. Universe, and he goes to the gym every day to build his muscles, you know. And who wants to become an entrepreneur has to build brain muscles, creativity, you know. So creativity is not only focused on who does fine arts, okay? It's even for entrepreneurs, because creativity means seeing the future of things, okay? Understanding if one product is actually good today or good in 10 years. So it's about seeing things before they actually really happen, okay? So we should not predict the future, we have to write the future. That's what the entrepreneur does. Actually, the true entrepreneur is not a good CEO, not a good MD, he's not a good chairman, because he is there to write the future and then give this package to a good CEO to manage it every day. And then goes again to his desk and he writes the future of things. He monitors what the habits of the people are. He sees what the trends are, and that's writing the future. So he's not predicting, he's just writing it. You know, it's like not to be too much godly, it's like God who puts down the future, okay? Because we are so used to we can get as human, can get used to anything, just if they tell us to do it, okay? For example, COVID-19, in a lot of countries, they've put people at home in lockdown, okay? You say, but everybody obeyed. They are in lockdown. They don't go out and party. They don't do all that. Why all of a sudden they don't do it? Because they were told to. Somebody wrote the future, okay? If those people have not written that future saying, oh, there's no lockdown, the businesses are going to run as normal, automatically you will still have businesses running. That mean the jobs will not be lost, because the money will be still there, because the amount of money to pay the salaries actually they're there. So COVID will not anymore be a negative thing. But because COVID, people got scared and they put everybody in lockdown, the business shut down for such a long period of time that we're not able to cash in the money. Now, who did that? COVID? No, we did that. We said, stay home and shut down your businesses. But we have not predicted that if we do that, this will happen, okay? That's what we not predicted. And that's what whoever decided that has not thought of. They said, oh, we just locked them down. They have money in the bank. They can't pay anything. Oh, that's what it is. So we have to predict the future by writing the future. That's how we do it.
Patrick, last 5 minutes. Where are you at the moment in your life, in the world? What are you looking to achieve?
Where I'm, well, in this present moment, I'm in Italy. Okay, we were the first ones in lockdown for 60 days, and so I come out from the lockdown. We went to Paris, we went to France. We're traveling. I mean, not all over the world, but we're traveling. And when we were in lockdown, when everybody else was not in lockdown, I had 60 days to think about not think of what to do, but how to do it differently. Okay, how to do it differently. And the the interesting part is, and this I said very openly, there's a lot of money floating in the system. A lot of cash is floating around. A lot of entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs who are starting a startup or have a startup say, oh, there's no money, people don't want to invest, okay? I say the opposite. Now everybody has seen a different way how to invest in a business. So it's really time to be creative, extremely creative with things, okay? But I will not suggest for entrepreneurs to just start a new business right now. I think it's time to help existing businesses to structure themselves differently, to become stronger than before. Then once that is done, then you can start with new businesses. But now is not the time for new businesses.
So you're saying operation, workflow, efficiency,
Yes.
data.
Yeah. That's key, because if we always start doing new startups and new startups, I mean, personally saying this, there's a lot of startups outside there, but they're all the same. They're all like, there's not much different between one and another one. All is an app, all is something related to social media. I mean, there's no creativity anymore. Everybody's copycatting the other one. It's like, if I don't find a job, I start a startup. Well, that doesn't really work. You're still jobless, until you find the money, somebody who wants to give it to you. So you're still jobless. So it doesn't change, But there is, I think now the right time is to put together the existing businesses, make them stronger. That's the time now to do that. That's exercise.
Great. I'm going to leave you with the final message for today. Patrick, what do you want to share with the audience? What impact do you want to have in the world? What do you want people to think about going home this weekend?
Don't get too depressed about what the news is saying about COVID, okay? The news has to sell information, has to keep you hooked on the TV, reading magazines, newspapers. That's their business, okay? Their business is to sell you information, okay? I suggest switch off the TV, stop reading the newspapers, and concentrate on how you can excel or make your business better. Find a solution to the problem, okay? That should be what you have to concentrate on right now, not on what the TV is telling you.
Brilliant. Great. Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. #AskRobCo every Friday, 1 p.m., same time, same place. The platform is for you. You ask the questions, we give you answers, educate, motivate, and inspire with lots of positivity, words of wisdom. Patrick, you've been amazing. Great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great questions. I think you opened up a lot of people's minds, and I can go away and think about everything you've shared with us. Let's keep in contact. I really like where you're going. I like how you're thinking. You're here for a reason. That's because you keep pushing, persevering, asking questions, because you're curious about the answers. I think that's a really big message today. Charlie, thanks for your Sam, thanks for everything. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the sun. Be healthy. Be safe. And we'll see you again next week. Take care, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers, Patrick. Everyone.
Cheers. Bye.